Brightest blessings, everyone. Um, Actually, I did a response video to Waking Ribbons. She wants to know what people think about EVP and if it's actually a real phenomena. I actually did a response to it, but apparently my sound has always been horrible on these videos, and I'd like to actually thank EVP World. Um, they just showed me how to do it really simply, and yes, all I needed to do was go into my computer and go into the audio and raise it up a bit. So thank you for pointing out that I am a technological moron. I think everybody pretty much knew that, though. The thing is that she was Waking Ribbons was stating that she had had some experience with EVP, and I'm a little confused. If you just hear disembodied voices and you don't get them on audio recording, is it really considered an EVP? EVP stands for Electronic Voice Phenomena. So if you don't hear it on an item that is electronic, such as a phone, a TV, a radio, something, is that really considered an EVP or just a disembodied voice? I myself have had some experience with an EVP. My mother had passed away, and we drove to California to work with the estate and to get everything into order. And my sister and I were supposed to do different things. And one of the things my sister was supposed to do, one of the first things, was to disconnect her phone. We were in California for a little bit because there was some hang-ups, and when I came back here to Arizona, about a week afterwards, I get a phone call. Now, on our phone, we have caller ID. So when you pick up the phone, you can actually see on the screen who it is. And if there's no name, there's a number to it, unless it's a private number or a blocked number. And normally I don't really check that, but I looked, and it had my mother's name on there and her old phone number, which was a little odd. And I picked it up and I answered it. Now, there was a very loud static on the other end, and I could hear kind of a woman's voice in the background. Obviously, somebody was trying to speak to me. Now, normally I would just say, we have a really bad connection and you need to hang up, and just call me back. And I did not do this. I was trying to hear what was being said on the other end. All I know is it was definitely a human voice. They were definitely speaking English, and it was definitely a female's voice. I could not make out what was being said, and I couldn't quite catch who it was. I was really concerned because I thought, maybe someone... First of all, I was really upset because I didn't think my sister had disconnected the phone as she was supposed to. And so basically when I hung up, after the phone went dead, I called my sister and I said, look, you were supposed to do this, and it was one of the first things that you were supposed to do. And she swore up and down that she had disconnected the phone. She wasn't sure if it was the day after my mom passed away or the second day after my mom had passed away. But it was definitely done within those 2 days. So I had called up the phone company because I was concerned. I don't know if someone's trying to steal my mom's identity, if someone's trying to steal long-distance phone calls off my mom now that she's passed away. You don't know what's going on. And they had actually said yes, it was definitely disconnected when my sister said it was disconnected, and I asked them to open up an investigation. And basically what they came up with is they don't know how or why someone had called from a number that actually had my mother's number and my mother's name on that number, and they said it was actually impossible for this to happen. So I believe that that was an EVP due to my mother. Now, a lot of things strange happen here. Now, I do hear voices here in the house occasionally. I'll hear a child's laughter. I will hear someone actually speak, and sometimes it'll sound like my girlfriend in the other room, and I'll turn around and yell, "What? What did you say?" And she'll say, "I didn't say anything. I was not even in that room." So I don't know if that would be considered an EVP because I'm not capturing it anywhere. I'm just hearing it. I have a lot of different activity in this house, which is kind of strange because it's not an old house. In fact, I'm the first owner of this house. No one's ever owned this house before me. We had it designed and built from Shea Homes, and it was moved into almost immediately after it was finished back in 2005. So I'm actually very curious on what kind of things what kind of minerals are in the ground here. I am in Arizona, so yeah, that could be something there. Things will happen, like in two of my videos, I actually captured some spiritual activity. The door's shut right now, so you can't see it, but on two of my videos, you hear things going on. I mean, not you don't hear things going on, but you see the door opening and closing by itself. Also, the TV in my bedroom will turn on by itself. It will also turn off by itself, and occasionally it has flipped channels by itself. I will hear things going on in the house. Sometimes Dawn will come home and she'll tap me on the shoulder if I'm have the headset on or something. I might be listening to videos, and I'll jump. I'll get really scared. And see, I haven't had a job in a little bit, so I've been staying home. And she'll go, "Didn't you hear me?" And I go, "Yeah, but that really wasn't the problem." See, I hear things going on all the time. I hear where it sounds like someone is moving around in the kitchen or the living room. Sometimes I'll be in the master bathroom and I can hear people in the bedroom. I do have 3 cats, but the sounds they make when they're going around doing their business is a little different than if someone human is home. So, yeah, I do have a lot of activity here. Also, I've had another issue with the phone. I wasn't really having to do with a voice. I was home alone and I was speaking to a friend of mine, and all of a sudden it sounded like someone had clicked, had got on the other extension. Now, we have one phone line in the house, but all throughout the house we have these cordless phones. And sometimes, see, I was talking to my best friend on the phone, and it sounded like someone had picked up an extension. And normally that's not a big deal, but when no one's home, that's a little strange, and especially when you're speaking to someone who's on their cell phone, because no one can pick up the extension on their end. And when I left the bedroom to see if someone had walked in the house and was stupid enough to pick up the phone, as soon as I walked out of the bedroom, I heard a click like they hung up. So immediately I checked on, to make sure that every phone was on its charger, because, it could be the cat just stepped on the phone. But when they're all on their chargers, it's impossible for them to step on the phones. And that's where they were. And I also had another experience with the same girl that I was talking to, where it sounded like someone had picked up the extension, only this time someone had hit redial a couple times. Again, she was on her cell phone, so it had to be on my end, and no one was home. And, of course, the cell phones were on their chargers. So, that's my experience, and I'd like people to tell me about theirs. By the way, thank you, EVP World. Blessed be.